Hey, how's it going? Let's do it. Hey, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Hey, let's do it. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You know what? I was getting ready to shoot this video, to sit down and balance and all of that. But then I stood in front of the mirror and I was like, listen, this is going to be a quick chat from sister to sister, or sister to brother, you know what I'm saying? So I figured, you know what, I'm just going to stand right here and we're going to have this chat, quickly. So today we're going to be talking about whether you should have before getting married. The reasons I'm going to be giving to you today are not even like biblical reasons. Yes, I'm still going to emphasize the biblical reason just to remind you. However, I'm going to share with you other 9 reasons why I personally believe you should veer away from this act before getting married. Number 1, pregnancy. Listen, I don't care the amount of protection out there, but they fail a lot. I've done a post on Instagram before, and if you read through the comment section on that particular post on Instagram, you see these are even married people sharing their stories of how their birth control failed and they ended up getting pregnant. Do you understand? So I don't want you to say, oh, there are birth controls. There is nothing that is 100% like abstinence. You might not be ready to be a parent. The person you're dating might not be ready to be a parent. You might not even be financially capable of being a parent. Number 2, STDs. Listen, there are things out there. There was something I saw on Instagram of someone sharing about how a husband had cheated on her and this and this and that and that. And she was asking for what she could do, like regarding her home. The very first thing that I was thinking was, Mama, you need to get tested. You need to... People are carrying things that they don't even know they are carrying. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you are exposed to certain things. People can't tell you they're carrying something when they don't even know, and you don't know where people have been. So again, why not avoid putting yourself at risk and just step away from this act? Number 3, when you engage in this act, even within the confines of a relationship, it has the tendency to blind you to some very important factors or some very important things that you should be paying attention to in a relationship while you're dating the person, because it is very easy, and it is something that you can just do, and it makes both of you feel good. It makes you feel like your relationship is on solid ground, but in actual fact it isn't. So it blinds you to important issues that you should otherwise be paying attention to. Kind of like how my pastor used to say it, is like you just subconsciously sweep things under the rug. Oh, he didn't mean it like that. Oh, it was just tired. It was just, you make excuses for actions that you otherwise would have paid extra attention to if your mind wasn't clouded. Number 4, if you end up breaking up with this person that you have engaged in this act with, the memories can hurt you. They can torture you, especially if it was really good with that person. So you're no longer together, but you're still thinking of that person. You're still thinking of the experience with that person. So the memories linger and then they continue on and on, even onto your other relationships, depending on how strong a hold this thing has on you, especially when it comes to this person, right? So you start to compare, you start to feel like nobody can match up, the memories are there and it makes you long for it. A lady who was getting married, and the night before her wedding, ex reached out to apologize for hurting her or whatever, and they decided to meet up in person just so he could apologize properly. And they met up in person the night before her wedding, and then they got pregnant. Well, she got pregnant. So it's like, you don't want to put yourself at risk of something like that possibly happening. I know it might seem a bit far-fetched, like, oh, that can never be me. It can never be you until it is you. Number 5, when you engage in this act with this person, whether you're dating or not, it prevents you from developing other essential aspects of your relationship, because it makes you think, like I mentioned earlier, it makes you think you're good. You know, oh my gosh, we connect, we're good. And so you don't try to develop your communication skills because you think, oh yeah, we both know what we want, what we like, or whatever. So you're not working on your communication skills. You're not working on your intimacy outside of this act. You're not working on other essential elements that can help grow your relationship because you're just so focused on this thing. Or maybe you have an argument, boom, you solve it with this thing. Number 6, I'm gonna say, you're not. I have to say, right? It's fornication. It is. You know, that's what the Bible says. You know, outside marriage, when you engage in this act, that's what it is. It doesn't please God. God doesn't like it. God doesn't want that for you. God doesn't want you to do it. God doesn't want you to engage in it. I don't know how else to put it to let you know that a sin is a sin is a sin is a sin is a sin. It is a sin. You fighting it doesn't make it any less of a sin. Or you trying to rationalize it or trying to fight the Bible, you know, doesn't make it any less of a sin. Or trying to be deep about it and say, oh, maybe shh, it's a sin. Okay, just accept it, move on. Do whatever you do, you, boo. But it's going to remain a sin. Number 7, a lot of people talking about, oh, taking a test to drive, taking the car. Oh, can you buy a car without test to drive in it? I don't even understand how this act can equal to buying a car, but okay, you know, okay. You know, they talk about, oh, you should test drive, you should figure out your compatibility. Compatibility changes. There is no one style that works for you or that will ever work for you, okay? When you love someone and someone loves you, both of you can develop your compatibility together. Both of you can develop your style together. It's just, it changes. It can change. It's not like, oh my gosh, we are not compatible. What do you mean? Have you tried to be compatible with this person? You know, have you both worked on it together? This whole compatibility thing, I feel like it's just an excuse that people use to just mess around, you know, just do whatever they want to do and just say, oh, you know, I have to, shh, you don't have to test drive anything. That's just you being badly behaved. But again, do you? So what I'm saying is, no, you don't have to. How many people are you going to test drive until you get married? How many people? And then, you know, even when you get married, you're going to grow. Okay, the same you today is not going to be the same you tomorrow. Year after year, you're going to grow as an individual, you're going to grow as a couple, and so your needs will change. What you used to like, you might not necessarily like anymore. What you thought you couldn't live without might just become irritable to you. You might start to develop new interest in the other room. You get what I'm saying? And it's only natural because you're growing, you're human, you're changing, your life is changing, your interests are changing. Likewise, your compatibility or, you know, your preferences will change. So how can you be certain that, oh, because we test drived it and it worked in 2017, it's going to work in 2030? Did I say test drived it? Sorry. Because you test drove it. I can't speak English. I really can't. Thank you. Sorry. Number 8, loss of interest. Yes, it happens. People can lose interest and fast, especially when you're with someone whose original interest or whose foundation of interest in you is based on this act and not necessarily you in the first place. So it's very easy for that person to get bored, get tired, lose interest in being with you, or you lose interest in being with them, lose interest in the relationship and just move on because you're not within the confines of a marriage rather. You know, when you're married, I mentioned it before, when you're married, there are so many things that keep you together. outside of your love for each other. You know, you love each other, yes, you're faithful to each other, but then the fear of God is a part of it, you know. And there is a commitment factor as well. Oh, I'm committed to this person, hence I have to do what I have to do to make it work, right? But when you are just dating, it's very easy for you to just let go because there is nothing binding you together. You can just wake up tomorrow and be like, you know, peace, I'm over it. Do you get? So people can lose interest. You cannot, and if your goal is, oh, he won't say, it's not going to be with me. If I don't do it, then let him go. It's not for you. It is not for you. If you love me, you will wait for me. Mommy Oyeka Uenu. That's what she sang with King Sunny Ade. If you love me, you go wait for me. That's it. That someone's test of love cannot be based on this act. Someone trying to determine whether you love them can't and shouldn't be based on this act because it is too fickle. You know, yeah, you get it. If you don't get it, Number 9, this is especially for the ladies with the V card out there. You know, sometimes when you carry it around, it makes the guy feel like, I must collect it. I must collect it. This thing that should, I must collect it. It can be more painful when you break up. If that person is your first, your second, your third, you've built a connection, you've exposed yourself to this person, like you've seen the in and out of this person because you've engaged in certain act. That person has seen your in and out and whatnot and whatever. And so it can be more painful, much more difficult to let go if, you know, a breakup does happen. Number 10. It can be very, 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 very easy for you to confuse the goodness and the sweetness of this act with love. Okay, very, very easy. It can be so good that you just mess with your brain and you think, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this person. It's not love that is speaking. It's the chemistry, the chemical in your brain that is making you think you love that person. Because when you start to sit down and you think deeply about it, you'd realize that, wait a second. Other than this, what else do I love? Do I actually love about this person? Like I said, those are 10 reasons why I personally believe you should not engage in this act before marriage. If you are engaging in the act already, that doesn't mean you cannot wake up tomorrow or at the end of this video decide, you know what, I'm gonna go, you know, make a fresh decision and decide not to do this again. You can always change your mind. The fact that you've lost your V card doesn't mean, oh, that's expressway, you know, for you to behave anyhow. No, you can always change your mind and say, you know what, until I get married, I'm not going to engage in this act. The important factor for you to keep in mind in all of this is that you need to understand why you're choosing to wait. If you do choose to wait, you cannot, unless if you are convinced about why you are waiting, you will not be able to stand and firmly, you know, as regards this issue. And you know, you might be tested and your stand might be shaking or whatever, but if your decision is rooted in a reason that you're just so convinced about and firm in, then it will be much more difficult for you to let go of it. Do you understand? And just do whatever you want. So think deeply about it. You know, consider these reasons. If you're in a relationship, if you're not, if you have any questions, remember you can always DM me on Instagram. Remember, I'm always interested in hearing your thoughts, your experiences, questions, whatever they might be. So make sure to drop them down below in the comment section as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like more of these videos, or if you found value in this video, then please thumbs up as well. Okay, thank you so much once again. I cannot wait to see you again very, very soon. I pray God blesses you, your homes, your marriages, your relationships. Most importantly, I pray God blesses you. Remain in God and God bless you. Mwah. Bye.
Let me introduce you.